My name is Duddit, I do builds and stuff, and today I've got a Strand Warlock build for you, all based around a glaive and Karnstein Armlets. We are going to be able to heal whenever we wish, suspend things, get woven mail going on the fly, keep an eye on the bottom left, get that woven mail going, and a vampire's caress for the healing. So stay tuned, I'm going to break it all down. This build feels super good. The first part of the build is the Karnstein Armlets, Vampire's Caress. So if you're a bit of a sucker like me for good builds, you're in the right place, no pun intended. Melee kills instantly restore a large amount of health and continue to restore health afterwards for a short duration. This works with glaives and melees. This is what it does. You'll see that Vampire's Caress pop up on that bottom left and a big chunk of healing. Plus it gives you health regeneration on the fly, and it consistently heals you for about 7 or 8 seconds afterwards. So this is exactly what it does. But the two aspects that work really nice with this on the Strand Warlock is the Wanderer. Whenever you destroy a tango, whether you throw that or shoot it, it's going to suspend things. And then mindspun invocation is the best one, because whenever you consume your shackle grenade, all your kills that you do, it gives a suspension detonation all around the target. So when you hit them with a glaive like so, pop your shackle grenade, enter with his trance, hit them with a glaive, you're going to get healing from the Karnstein Armlets, and on top of that you suspended them. So it's basically free health on kill, just like that. Look at that, really nice. And if you've got a glaive, for example, something like incandescent on, you can also use the projectile with that. On this one I've got incandescent and demolitionist on the judgement of kelgoroth, so it works pretty nicely for your grenade recharge rate as well. But you can also use the incandescent from the projectile to NT Weaver's Trance, take advantage of Weaver's Trance that way as well. But just to get in the melee kills and the suspension and the heal on the health on kill feels really nice. Very niche, but it is extremely helpful, and it keeps you alive when normally you die. Just getting that 7 seconds of healing plus the suspension. You got your incandescent going as well. I've got some other glaives to show you as we go into the build, but this is just a little example how it works. I've tried it in a few different activities, Lost Sectors, 1840 stuff, Grandmasters, and it feels super nice. Banner of War is the closest thing to this. Banner of War is obviously a little bit better, but like this is as close as I've come to the Banner of War on the Titan. But except this is a Warlock, so it does feel pretty nice. Not, like I said, definitely not as good as Banner of War, but not far off. So it's super good little build. As well as the healing, we can add Thread of Wisdom. Defeating suspended targets creates an orb of power. As you've seen, we're going to be suspending quite a lot with the Weaver's Trance. And then you can run Thread of Warding, picking up an orb of power, grants woven mail. So these two fragments on the Strand Warlock work perfectly together, because you're going to get all the healing from the Karnstein Armlets. And whatever you suspend is going to create an orb, like so. You're automatically going to pick that orb up. And not only are you going to get your healing, you're going to get your woven mail on there as well from the Thread of Warding. So this little mixture of fragments feels really good. Almost perfect for this, because like I said, you do get the healing from the Karnstein, you get the woven mail, so it's really nice little added bonus. Woven mail is a 40% damage reduction, plus your tier 9 or tier 10 resilience, whatever you're running. So it's really nice. And again, GM gameplay, I was quite easily able to run around and kill things with this glaive. Like I said, it does feel really nice. I don't put builds out unless I've tested them thoroughly. And then just as we go into it a little bit more, I've got some more glaives to show you. One glaive in particular works really nice is Vexcalibur, because this gives you an overshield as well, and the projectiles do a little bit more damage with it being an exotic. But the getting the overshield plus your healing and the woven mail, as you've seen previously, all working together, and you are really tanky. And plus with a Vexcalibur, you do give your teammates an overshield as well if you do play in a team. So Vexcalibur, the avoid overshield, the woven mail, and the healing from the Karnstein Armlets does fit this build extremely well, in my opinion. I wasn't well, to be honest with you, if you got the Vexcalibur on, it is extremely hard to die with this build. I was stood there in between 4 or 5 different enemies at a time all shooting me, and I was hardly taking any damage whatsoever. The whole utility of the build with the suspension from the Weaver's Trance and the mindspun invocation, all feels super nice as well. Just for situations like this, you've got a load of enemies spawning, you can kill one or two of them and suspend the rest of them. Get that orb from the fragments that you've seen, get your woven mail going, and you can just consistently just keep suspending things all of the time. There is another glaive, or well, a glaive perk. There's loads of different glaives in the game that'll work nicely with this one, but there is another glaive as well with a really good perk on there called Greasy Luck. It's got the close to melee perk on there. Glaive projectile final blows increase melee damage, and glaive projectile hits or melee kills extend that duration. So you're going to get some nice melee damage on top as well with the close to melee perk. So this is just another option. So like I said, there is loads of different glaives in the game, but the close to melee perk in particular works very, very nicely. The Vexcalibur works very, very nicely, and glaives with things like incandescent on there also fit the build very nice. So if you've got any of these lying in your vault, get them out, try this build, you will enjoy it. It is very, very fun, and you are super, super tanky. All I'm going to do now is just go over the rest of my fragments. Thread of Warden and Thread of Wisdom, they're the ones that you've just seen. Defeating suspended targets creates an orb of power. Thread of Warden, picking that orb up gives you woven mail. Thread of Generation, dealing damage, generates grenade energy. This is perfect because you get your shackle grenade for your Weaver's Trance back very quickly. Thread of Continuity, suspend, unravel and sever effects applied to you have an increased duration. That's an obvious one to run with this build. Another glaive that I did try briefly, not as much, but I will try it today a bit more. Winterbite also works nice, a stasis glaive, but Crimson is another primary option to run with that for healing as well. We've also got the sword I bang on about quite a bit on this channel, Thin Precipice with Unrelenting and Chain Reaction. There's just another couple of weapons to add to this build if you wish. Now I'll quickly go over my mods. Reaper's a really good one for the Thread of Warden. Every time you use your class ability, your next weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. Double Bomber, every time you use your class ability, you get grenade recharge rate again for that shackle grenade. On your legs, these are sort of like, if you wish, I run kinetic weapon surges just for my kinetic weapon, but we've got other options as well. You can also run things like Innovation for grenade cooldown, or you can also run health regen ones like Better Over Ready or Recuperation. On my chest piece, a Concussive Dampener, definitely for a glaive build. And then on top of that, I always like to double up my resistances, whether it's Arc, Void or Solar, whichever the activity is at the time. On my arms, I run a Font of Vigor. Every time I have an orb, I'm going to get a nice boost to my strength, plus 30. And then heavy-handed, because you do get a few melee kills with this build as well. So getting an orb just through melee kills. So don't forget, Karnstein actually work with melees as well. Kinetic Siphon on the helmet, rapid kinetic final blows create an orb of power. And then I run a special ammo finder because I'm running glaives, and then a special ammo scout. So yeah, that's the video. That's everything broke down. I'll leave it all playing out like so, and I'll leave a dim link in the video description. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think if you try it. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.